Jodine, your host. I've got my phone set up on a shoebox. I'm going to try again to do the fire sign reading. And I'm going to do a little bit of sage. I got the big guns out, folks. Probably burn the damn house down. If you watched my short video, then you know I've been trying to do the Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius read, and I've been getting the beastly Antichrist stuff, which comes up for me every now and then. And I've come to the conclusion that this Antichrist stuff that comes up doesn't have anything to do with Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. It just comes up when it comes up. And we've got all of those, like 7 planets moving into the constellation of Aries right now. And that's probably what's triggering it, not my fire sign reading. And I think when you're doing, you know, priestess work, which a lot of us are, you pick up on that stuff. And I remember when I first started picking up on stuff like that, I was totally freaked out. And I've gotten better at it, about it. Now, one thing that helped, if anybody else is going through that, like picking up on, I don't even know what to call it, the angst in the world, if it's coming to you in ways that you can see and hear and feel viscerally, it helped me a lot to join a Zen meditation group in my city. Zen meditation can teach you a whole lot about how to do priestess work. The high priestess can channel all that stuff that's out there, but she doesn't get attached to it. Just because it's out there doesn't mean she should get mental illness over it. There's a lot of stuff going on that would cause a person mental illness. This is true. You have to be able to view it and let it go. I'm going to say this stuff now because I don't think this is just happening to me. You have to be able to know it's there and let it go. Don't own it. Don't sit there and personalize it and say, oh, it's about me. Oh, I've got mental illness. We've all got mental illness. But, and a lot of times, like when I get those beast readings, I don't necessarily want to publish them because just because you see something in a tarot reading doesn't mean it's going to happen. There's too many wild cards in the world. Any number of things can happen and get screwed up by something else. We've all got free will around here. There's too many actors. You can't account for them all. Things that you see in a tarot reading may happen, but when? The universe's timeline is not the human timeline. And if they happen, they're not going to happen the way they look like they're going to happen. Nothing ever does. And a lot of times those things can just be metaphors. Like, I get a reading that tells me there's bodies buried in the shipping containers at the bottom of the ocean. There's going to be a tsunami that's going to wash them up on shore, and then we're going to know horrible things. Could be a metaphor for something that's already going on, like horrible things have happened to people and it's been kept secret, it's been pushed down, and now we know. So that kind of stuff. There's a lot of things to keep in mind. All of you priestesses out there who might be realizing that you're a priestess, don't let yourself get carried away. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to try and do the fire sign reading again, and I'm going to switch the camera around. So goodbye. I'll be right back. I'm back. I've got beautiful flowers on my table now. I'm a flower merchandiser, so I have access to flowers all the time. Oh, and I want them to show in the camera. So, this is the general reading for the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And my very old and worn deck, my Color Your Own tarot deck, gift from my daughter for my birthday, called out to be used for this reading. And when it calls out to me, I listen to it. But I have to do the best I can with it because it's kind of the old lady of my tarot decks, the pensioner. I have to be gentle with her. She's supposed to be retired into sacred service. I guess she knows what sacred service is because she calls out every now and then. So we're doing the general reading for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And what do we have for them? Do we have a host for this reading? Will someone come out and impart a message? I think I will take these. They feel intuitively. I feel like there is a message here. We've got the Six of Coins, and we've got the Eight of Swords, and we've got the Tower. And I'm already feeling a message about that. It's about giving and receiving of our energy and what occupies our thoughts, and maybe as we're going through a Tower period. I don't know. I hope this isn't going to be a political reading. If I get 2 political readings in a row, especially when the sacred deck is here, then I will believe then that maybe the fire signs do actually have a political reading this week. Okay, so what is the message of these 3 cards for our fire signs, please? And I'll cut you again. And we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. Is everybody in? Yeah, everybody's in reverse. So I'm going to turn it upright. Nine of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and we have the Leo card. Oh, good old Leo is here with a dose of strength. Leo, we need your strength right now. We need Leo's big shoulders. And what's at the bottom of the deck? It's Aries. We need Aries too. We need Aries' ability to come in and run the show and make good choices. I hope that's what this Aries is here to do. Where's Sagittarius? All right, I am going to use the Light Seers deck for clarification. I love the Light Seers deck. And I'm going to ask for clarification on these 3 cards right now. For the fire signs, dear Light Seer deck, give me clarification on the Nine of Swords, please, and thank you. For the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. One more. And we'll cut. Four of Wands. Temperance. There's Sagittarius. Ace of Swords. Oops, I've got my hand on her mouth. Ace of Swords. And now I would like clarification for the King of Pentacles, please. King of Pentacles has got some good practical boss energy in it. Good practical, we know what to do with our resources energy. Well, I don't want to start interpreting until all the cards are on the table. So for the King of Pentacles, we have the Four of Swords. We've already got 2 4s on the table. 2 4s is 44. 4 is the number of Earth. It's the number of solid stability. And 44 then is a double dose of that. You're either being congratulated for your stability or you're being reminded that you could use some. Who's next? The Magician. And the Eight of Swords. We now have the Eight of Swords on the table twice. The Eight of Swords came out as host. So Eight of Swords is here as host and clarifier. So not only do we have 44, but now we have 88. 88 would be a doubling of 44. We are being told about our stability. 8 is also the number of change. It's the number of hard work. It's the number of mastery. It's the number of taking authority for something. All right, now let us see. In fact, we've got 8 on the table 3 times because we also have Leo here, and that's an 8 card. Woo-woo. Triple dose of 8 energy. Four, 44 and 888. No. Emperor is a 4. We've got 444 and 888. Yesterday when I did the Earth sign, and there's Leo again. Oh, Lord, there's so much going on. I just can't talk about it enough. Leo and Aries, isn't it? Leo and Aries, Aries and Leo, dun ta dun ta dun, forever and always. These two love each other. Okay, where was I? I think I was in the middle of saying something else, and now I'm having a senior moment. Oh yeah, I was doing Earth sign reading. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. They had 44 and 88. We've got a bigger dose. We've got 444 and 888. Get stable. Get some stability. Okay, so let us pull clarifier now for Leo the Lion. King of Cups. Queen of Cups. Wow. We got that duo here. Are these actual people, or are these characteristics? Well, we're going to take a bigger look at that. And then we have the Hierophant. And that is our cards. What's on the bottom of this deck? The Page of Swords. Well, this is a lovely reading. It doesn't look beast-like at all to me. This looks like a very human reading. And it does have to do with times of upheaval. The Tower card is sitting on top as host. But when I look at all the cards now, we've got air, we've got fire on the table, we've got earth on the table, we've got water on the table. So we've got all the elements represented here. My neighbors are talking outside. Bear with me. I'm going to just close the windows and doors. This is a very active family right next door. Okay, so all the elements are on the table. Of the elements on the table, swords is represented the most. So we're dealing with the mind, the thought system. The least represented of the elements is cups, but the cups that we do have are big cups. We've got the king and the queen, so we've got powerful cups where they are represented. There are more pentacles than there are cups, but not too many pentacles here. How many pentacles do we have? We have the 6, we have the king, the king is a powerful pentacle. There's a lot of fire. The Tower card is Scorpio and Aries. We have the Emperor, which is fire. We have Leo, which is fire. We have Temperance, which is Sagittarius, which is fire. So a lot of fire and a lot of air. Now, if we watch Kyle of Cups, I've been watching Kyle of Cups for years. One thing he always says is that when you get too much fire and air, you can be dealing with an explosive situation. Well, you know how fire signs are. I'm a fire sign, by the way. Leo rising. Does that make me a mega fire sign? It might. We can be hot-headed. We can be a hot-headed bunch of people. Boom! Aries can go boom really fast. Leo's a fixed sign. It takes longer for us to go boom, but when we go boom pretty darn good. And don't get over it too fast. Anyway, what I think is happening in this reading is that in times of change, that's what I'm going to call this. Just be careful how you use your mind. It's about not letting your mind run away from you and having the ability to self-care and take care of that mind and not be responding from a place of fury. I think we are going into heavy times with all these planets going into the constellation of Aries. That's going to have an energetic effect on all of us. But we've got 2 cards of big mental anguish here. We've got the 8 of Swords and the 9. The 9 is can't sleep because we can't calm our mind and we are just addled all the time. Addled. And the 8 of Swords is more of that. Being a prisoner of the mind, being so addled that you can't break out of it. 6 of Pentacles, what do you give your energy to in a time that we're going through, which is a hard time? Change is a hard time. Some people would look at the Tower and call it collapse. I want to veer away from that. I think collapse is too limited a word to describe what's actually going on here. Recalibration is probably a better word. Recalibration sounds a lot nicer than collapse, but I don't think it is. I think they're both very hard to go through. Anyway, and maybe that fire signs tend to be a little more high-strung. Maybe we need to guard our mental health. Feel a little more cognizant of that. The Four of Wands. And we have Temperance. And we have the Ace of Swords. Excuse me, I've got a muck in my throat. How can you keep yourself balanced? How can you keep yourself from going off the deep end and getting too caught up in your thoughts? It's going to require your strength of character, which you have, fire signs. You've got lots of strength of character. There's Leo. Here's Emperor. The Emperor has so much control. He's a control freak, and I think there's a lot to be said about this. It's a good quality to have control over yourself, to have discipline over yourself, and to know I'm going off the deep end here. I need to call it back. This is one thing fire signs will do. It's part of their strength. The other thing about fire signs is they can be control freaks. So there's a balance there that has to be struck. Yeah, I don't want to overindulge and let my mind totally whack out. On the other hand, I'm not in control of everything. You are not. None of us are having any control over the situation and the backdrop of all our lives, which is big time change. Mega change, upheaval. Upheaval and the ripping out of the ground we always felt firm on. In these times, know who your friends and family are. Where are the kindred spirits that you can connect with? Who can you be with and feel peace? Who understands you? Cling to those people. Practice moderation. And I've been talking about that. Like, be observant of your thoughts. This just makes me think of Zen meditation again. Maybe it's maybe it's all synchronicity that I introduced this reading by talking about Zen meditation. Where is your moderation? How do you moderate your thoughts? How do you observe your own thoughts and say, oh, for instance, Jodine appears to be worried about XYZ. And speak to yourself in third person as if you are the observer of yourself, because actually that is who you are. And the Ace of Swords, and this is clarity of mind. This is talk. Ace of Swords is conversation. It's truthful conversation. Be real with yourself. Be clear with yourself. Know when to say enough is enough. I'm not going to overindulge in frightening emotions. I'm going to know when to practice deep meditation, deep rest. I know what self-care is. I know when I've had enough. I know when to step away. I realize that I'm not in control of everything, and none of us are. And there are huge forces rolling across the earth right now. And sometimes the best thing to do might be to crawl in your nest and sink real low down into the bottom of that nest and let that force roll over the top of you like a big black cloud, rather than stand up fighting and punching and kicking and expressing all your fire passion. All your fire passion can't stop this force. It's a big force. Here's our Magician. We do not want to create from a position of worry and stress. There comes a time when we have to lay down. It's actually one of our superpowers to know when to lay down. You will endure. It is your nature to endure. You are the leaders. You are the fire that doesn't die. Where you go, others will follow. Keep that in mind. When the King and Queen of Cups come out in a reading like this, I don't think that we're in a love reading here. Maybe somebody's in love. I don't know. But what I think we're looking at here is control of emotions. And the King of Cups is a helper. He sits on a chair that's floating on a slab of cement in very turbulent waters of the ocean. That's what he does. If those very turbulent waters are the emotions of the whole world around you going nuts, where's your Zen, fire sign? People will cling to your strength. So you want to be solid. You want to be able to float on top of those emotional tsunamis. And what about the Queen? The Queen can accept other people's emotions in her best aspect. She sits at the sea with her cup. You are welcome to come and put your emotions in her cup, and she can listen to them. She's a good listener. He's kind of a counselor. He's kind of a psychologist. These are helpers. These are guides. You're being called on in these times to use your strength to be a guide for other people. Here's the guide. Here's the Hierophant. You're not called on to be the Pope. No, that's not what I'm saying. But you're being called on to be a leader from a place of stability. People will follow your strength and your stability, fire signs. You're strong. You're strong. Everybody can see it. You're the one who shows up. Leo. You're the fixed sign. You're the one who comes and keeps things going every day, every day, every day. Workaholic. Okay, I'm not telling you to be a workaholic. I'm just saying that's a characteristic. Here's the Eight of Swords again. Eight of Swords is here twice, so just another card reminding you not to get imprisoned in your patterns of thought. You are able to take off those blindfolds. You don't want to create from that position. You want to create from a position of clarity in your mind. And you want to be wise enough to listen to Sagittarius when Sagittarius says, walk the middle ground. Don't be too extreme, not one way or the other. Be strong, be stable. You're the leader. If a good community, if a healthy and stable community can be created, you fire signs will be the creators of that. Keep those things in mind. So we're going through a time that's going to call on us to learn how to navigate. We'll watch, we'll be observant, we'll see how things go. We'll learn how to navigate in changing times. and times that change into something different than we've ever had before. It's hard for all people to go through that. They will look to you for your strength, fire sign. And there's no better place for them to look. And that's all I have to say about that. There's a possibility I might think of really important things after I turn the camera off. And you know what I do then. I'll write little statements across the screen, or I'll try to accommodate it some way. All right, have a good 444888 week until I see you again. Don't let the buggers get you down. Love you guys. Bye. Hoodie Priestess is a fledgling new channel in the big world of YouTube. If you've enjoyed this content and you'd like to help the channel along, there's some simple things you can do. Watch the video to the end, comment, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you think someone else would appreciate this content, please share it with them. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you.